All right, let's talk about what makes a student government really tick. Today, we're going to dig into the HSSGA, that's the Hamaday Educational Services Student Government Association, to see how it's built, what it does, and the impact it has, pulling everything straight from their own official playbook.
So, right out of the gate, check this out. This is from the preamble of their constitution. You can just feel how serious their mission is. This isn't just about planning dances, it's about serving the community and building a school culture people are genuinely proud of. That one sentence, it really sets the whole stage. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how the government is actually put together. Then, we'll see how it shapes students into leaders and pumps up school spirit. After that, we'll get into how any student can make their voice heard. And finally, how you can become part of it all.
First up, a government for students. Because to really get what Hessga is all about, you gotta understand how it's organized. And trust me, there's a real method to the madness.
And this picture says it all. It's actually modeled after a real government, built on 3 branches that work together. See how they overlap? The president, for instance, is right there in the middle, connecting everything. It's a smart design, built for checks and balances, even in student government.
Now, let's zoom in on the 2 main student-run parts. Think of the executive committee as the get-it-done crew. They're the officers who actually run the activities. Then you've got the legislative assembly. They're the voice of the people, made up of class presidents and VPs who debate and vote on what matters to students.
But listen, this whole government setup isn't just for show. It's a real training ground, designed to build leadership skills that you just can't get from a textbook. And that's the key takeaway right there. Hessga is all about experiencing civic action firsthand. It's about taking these big ideas about leadership and government and actually putting them to work in the real world.
And you want proof? Here it is. We're not talking about just fun field trips. These are targeted leadership experiences. I mean, visiting the mayor's office, going to the state capitol for Charter Day, getting professional training at the Arab American National Museum. This is hands-on learning, big time.
Okay, making leaders is a huge deal. But what about the day-to-day vibe of the school? This is where HSGA turns the duties written in its constitution into actual deeds that build a real sense of community.
Let's just take one specific role, right out of their constitution, the media officer. Look at that specific duty, publishing at least 1 video a week. That's not a suggestion. It's a clear, measurable goal written right into their rulebook.
And guess what? They actually do it. You can find projects just like this online. This shows it's not just a duty on a piece of paper. It's real content getting made and shared, keeping everybody informed and connected. It's a perfect link between a rule and a result.
And the media officer is just one part of this big puzzle. The student government is also behind huge community events like the annual talent show and the daily radio announcements. They even handle the practical stuff like the lost and found and making sure teachers feel appreciated. It's all these little threads they weave to make the school stronger. So we've seen the structure and what they produce. But what if you're a student with a great idea? How does it actually get through this whole system? How do you get heard?
Hessga uses a time-tested system to keep things fair and orderly. Now, it's based on something called Robert's Rules of Order, which might sound complicated, but its goal is super simple. Make sure every idea gets heard, debated, and decided on in a clear, democratic way.
Let's break it down. The path for an idea, which they call a motion, is really straightforward. 1, you suggest it. 2, someone else agrees it's worth talking about. 3, everybody debates it. 4, you vote. And 5, the result is announced. See? It's just a clear process to turn one person's thought into a group decision. And here's maybe the best part. They've made it incredibly easy to get started. You can literally just go on their website and submit a motion online. This totally removes any barriers and empowers any student with an idea to get the ball rolling. Which brings us to our final section. After seeing the structure, the leadership training, and the community impact, you're probably wondering, okay, how can I be a part of this? It really all boils down to this one simple question. Are you ready to step up and lead? If you're thinking, yes, the requirements are pretty straightforward. You got to maintain a solid GPA, have great citizenship and attendance records, and get some teacher recommendations. And hey, if you're aiming for the top spots like president or VP, you'll need at least a year of experience under your belt. And the whole thing runs on a clear annual cycle. Campaigns kick off October 1st, with the big election day in early November. A really cool moment is in February, when the president gives a State of the Student Government address, just like the real thing.
The year then wraps up in May with awards to recognize all the hard work.
So there you have it. Hessga is so much more than just a student club. It's a living, breathing model of how to get involved, build leaders, and create a better school culture. The final takeaway is their simple, direct invitation to you. So the question isn't just whether you'll join, but what kind of legacy you'll help build when you do.